Good morning, everyone. Today, I, Kunal Mahajan, will be presenting my review paper on the topic Role of Reaction Time in Fall Prevention in Elderly Populations. Introduction part. Falls are among the major causes of injury, disability, and loss of independence in the elderly. With the aging population, fall prevention has become an important public health objective. Reaction time, the time between the beginning of a stimulus and the onset of a physical response, has been a crucial factor that affects the risk of falls in older adults. Delayed reaction time can disrupt the capacity for a person to regain balance or prevent danger and therefore make him more susceptible to falling. Reaction time is influenced by various age-related changes such as lower muscle strength, slower cognitive processing, degraded sensory input, and neuromuscular inefficiencies. Evidence indicates that slower reaction time is highly correlated with impaired gait, balance, and high fall incidence in older adults. A number of studies have confirmed that physical activity has a protective function by enhancing reaction time and minimizing the risk of falls. Specific interventions like step training are effective in attenuating reaction time as well as fall rates. Systematic programs mimicking natural stepping and balanced tasks enhance neuromuscular responsiveness and posture control. These observations highlight the need to include functional reaction time exercises in fall prevention programs. The methodology. A thorough search of literature was conducted to find cross cutting studies that have investigated the role of reaction time in fall prevention among the elderly. Electronic databases PubMed, Scopus, Cochrane Library, Sci-Hub, and Google Scholar were searched for studies from 2004 up to and including 2024. The following keywords and their permutations were used: reaction time, fall risk, fall prevention, and elderly. Boolean operators and or were used to refine the search results. Now, a Prisma flowchart showing 274 studies from keyword searches were found, out of which 24 duplicates were deleted. 250 articles were selected, and out of which 50 were excluded based on the relevance to the article's title. 137 articles were excluded based on the title and the abstract. 27 articles were excluded on the basis of the accessibility. Now, out of 39 articles left, 23 articles were excluded on the basis of study design, English language, other than elderly populations. 13 articles were finally selected for the final review. Reaction time and fall risk. Of the 13 studies included, 8 of the studies specifically examined the interaction between reaction time and risk of falling, which had shown slowed motor response times were related to impaired balance, reduced gait speed, and diminished functional performance in older adults. In a number of studies, reaction time was more predictive of falls than conventional strength or mobility tests. Sarcopenia, neuromuscular performance, and reaction time. Three studies investigated the influence of sarcopenia, neuromuscular variables on reaction time, and it was found that slow motor response was also related to poor muscle torque and compromised central motor control, especially in fallers. Physical activity, cognitive function, and reaction time. Four studies highlighted the importance of physical activity and mental stimulation in the preservation or enhancement of the reaction time in older adults. These studies endorse the interventions that support physical and mental exercises can be effective in boosting neuromotor readiness and mitigating fall risk. Intra-individual variability and reaction time. Two studies investigated this in reaction time and its predictive function for fall risk. It was found that these implies that not only mean reaction time but also variability of performance is an important determinant of fall susceptibility. SEP training and intervention efficacy. Three studies assessed SEP training and other strategies designed to enhance reaction time. A systematic review and meta-analysis indicated that step-based strategies significantly enhance simple and choice reaction times, balance, and walking, as well as decreasing overall incidence of falls. Technology-based assessments of reaction time. Two studies introduced technology-enabled assessment techniques like motion capture and kinetic-based stepping tests to quantify reaction time in home and clinical settings. Reaction time and comorbidities. Three studies emphasize the contribution of underlying conditions like mild cognitive impairment, diabetic peripheral neuropathy, and balance impairment to the modulation of reaction time and enhancement of fall risk. Now, the discussion for the review. Various therapeutic interventions aimed at reaction time have been investigated to decrease fall risk and enhance physical and cognitive function in the elderly. Since delayed motor and cognitive response is a major risk factor for falls, enhancing reaction time has become an important strategy in preventing falls. Multiple studies have underscored that step training, and most notably volitional and reactive stepping tests, drastically enhance basic and choice stepping reaction times. Both clinical and community based programs work well, but even more so when customized to replicate actual in the community environment perturbations. Additionally, physical exercises, moderate aerobic, and strength based exercise has repeatedly been found to maintain or enhance cognitive reaction time. A number of studies use dual task training to simulate real world situations in which older adults have to respond to stimulus cognitive and motor demands. Dual task stepping and reaction tasks were correlated with enhanced performance and less intra individual variability, particularly among older adults with mild cognitive impairment. In the realm of evaluation, the use of tech aided devices like kinetic based CRT systems enable clinicians to assess upper and lower limb reaction times at clinics as well as in home settings. The limitations of the review. The main limitation of this review is methodological heterogeneity between the included studies, especially in reaction time measurements, types of interventions, and outcomes. This heterogeneity complicates drawing consistent conclusions or making direct comparisons. Moreover, some studies did not have longitudinal follow-up or randomized design, which could impact generalizability of results. Subsequent studies should seek methodological standardization and larger, well-controlled studies to more accurately assess reaction time-based interventions for the prevention of falls in the elderly. Conclusion of the review. The review's finding implies that reaction time (RT) is a vital component and predictor and fall preventer of the elderly population. Slower reaction time has a close relation with impaired balance, decreased gait speed, neuromuscular impairments, and an elevated risk of falls in the elderly. Some of the studies discovered in this review showed that training programs incorporating both volitional and reactive stepping, particularly under dual task conditions, have a beneficial effect on both motor and cognitive functions. The interventions not only enhance postural control but also decision making functions in changing environments, which are crucial in preventing falls. Although the present evidence highlights the significance of reaction time in the prevention of falls, further investigation is required to determine the long term efficacy of various intervention programs and to standardize assessment procedures. Nevertheless, the results stress the urgent need to include reaction time tests and specific training within fall prevention interventions for the elderly, ultimately facilitating independence, safety, and better quality of life in older adults. With this, I would like to conclude my review. Thank you.